The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 233 of a daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is one that I don't really know much about, but it is the Therian Wood Edition Illustrated Playing Cards. So with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. But before we start, these are still fully sealed in the cellophane, so we're going to take that pull tab and crack them open here. Here we have a glossy finish tuck box in that kind of wooden style here. On the front, you got a little lion there, or some kind of little headpiece or horns on. It says Therian at the top, Wood Edition, illustrated playing cards. On the side, it kind of looks like a wooden board there, kind of nailed to the side, and it says Made in the USA. Same kind of look on the other side, but it says poker size. On the bottom, it says manufactured by the United States Playing Card Company. On the back, you got size like wooden board kind of look to it, like diagonal kind of boards, and then you got a little paw kind of carved into it, paw print design. And for the seal, it's an orange, genius yellow kind of like gradient kind of rounded square seal, a little rounded kind of little white border round on the inside with a little paw on the inside. Then on the top, you got a little bit of information, but it's a little bit covered up by the seal. But it says at the at Therian Playing Cards 2022. So these are from 2022. So now that we've seen the tuck box, we'll crack the box open. We'll crack the seal here. If this card thing works still. Not the best crack, but anyway, on the inner tuck flap, you just got that wood kind of grain pattern there. Same thing on the inner tuck flaps. It's just like I guess it's just like a darker brown colorway. And we take the cards out of the box and don't just drop one on the ground. On the inside of the tuck box, it's just plain white. Nothing too crazy or fancy going on inside there. Now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at the cards. And first, you've probably seen the cards sitting there, but we'll start with the back design here. And it looks like a fully inked back design, and it is a one-way back design. So it has that same kind of design you slightly saw on the back of the tuck box. Almost a little twist. So you got that wooden kind of like board, like kind of planked board background with the carved in little paw print shape there. Then it has like a little kind of like not vines, but more like roots, kind of like a root, kind of little border around it. So it makes like a darker edged border there. And since it is like fully inked on the edges there, the edges could chip and like start turning a little white in the corners. That's one thing they noticed was like fully inked decks. And this is a darker colored deck, so it will chip a little bit more than like lighter colors. That's one thing they notice. And it is a one-way back then, so we flip it over. The paw print would be upside down, or would be in the opposite direction there. Now for the cards you get with the deck. Here we start with the first Joker. And it says Joker, Joker there in the corners there. In kind of like a bluish colorway. Then you kind of got some kind of like wooden like bear there in the Joker outfit with a little Joker cane there, a little green little bear there, or some kind of little creature. And for the second Joker, you got the same blue font. And then you kind of got some kind of like stuffed or like sewn together animal there, like a cat or something. I'm not even sure what kind of creature that is, but with a blue and like green kind of little jester outfit on. And for the custom Ace of Spades there, it's definitely an interesting look to the deck already. We got that custom Ace of Spades where it kind of looks like a sword, kind of. You got the sword handle there that's going through. And then you kind of got a little purple kind of colorway there for the spade there. And it has like the stone sewn or stitched kind of look to it there, and it has like little spikes on the outside. With some kind of little spade sword. And got the custom font for the letters and numbers there, and the custom like spade pips there. They're slightly custom spade pip, and they're not the normal black colorway. They're more of like the dark bluish, kind of purplish kind of colorway there. That goes throughout the rest of the spades. Then we get to the court cards, and they're fully custom too, like fully. I guess the card did, the talk box did say illustrated cards. You got the fully custom court cards here. The Jack, the Queen, and the King. So you got a crow, like an evil looking crow there with some red smoke there. Like a half human, half crow creature. And you got a half cat, half winged demon kind of cat creature there with a mouse in her hand and some swords. And then you got like a bear there for the king with a sword and then some like purple armor on there. And then red eyes, definitely the red eyes there. And then you got the custom ace of diamonds there, and you got the three swords behind it, and acting like a little shield there, like a half metal, half like kind of wood kind of shield. And then you got the custom like slightly custom diamond pips. Well, I guess that's custom diamond pips there, and that goes throughout the rest of the diamonds there. And you got the custom court cards once again, the fully custom artistic style court cards. Then you got like a mouse for the jack, a mouse holding a cat, a mouse in armor, and then you kind of got like a goat, a warrior kind of goat there, with two little swords. Oh no, no, that's two swords. And then you kind of got a gorilla there with a little staff and some skulls on it. Then it has like a bird skull on its head. And then you got the clubs in that same blue, like darker blue colorway. And you got an owl for the king with the sword. Then you got a wolf for the queen. And another sword. And then you got some kind of like lizard, a type of lizard for the jack. There's a little wine glass there in its hand. Then you got the custom club pips. They're slightly custom. They look pretty like standard, but they're slightly custom there. And they're in that blue colorway once again. And you got the custom ace of clubs. And it was a wooden club. Or, no, it's a wooden stake. And then it has like two red skulls there on either side. And it's kind of like supposed to be like a scarecrow kind of design, or slightly, that's what it reminds me of, slightly. A little more like kind of weird in a way. But then there's like some kind of little sewn together kind of little creature thing there, like face that's supposed to look like a face. As you can see the ears and like the hair, but it's also going through the stake. A little kind of creepy, honestly. Then you got the hearts with the slightly custom heart pips. And then you got the fully custom court cards here. And for the King of Hearts, you got the lion there with the sword and the shield. Then you got a fox in a dress with a rose for the queen. And then for the Jack of Hearts, you got a rabbit playing the piano. And then you got those custom heart pips. They look pretty standard, honestly, but they're slightly custom. This is a fully custom a deck. And we get to a custom Ace of Hearts there. And then you kind of got, it's kind of like a sword in a way, because it has like a little handle up there, but then it has kind of like a little barbed wire. It's not really barbed wire, but a little spike kind of design there with the red heart there. The red sewn together heart there in the middle. And for the two extra cards, you get a double backer of the back design. And then you got, I guess, the little ad card. So the information you couldn't see on the talk box is here on this ad card. You got the two paws on either side. And that says artist, the Pavel Popov, and then I guess you got his email there on the card. It says project manager, and then Therian cards, and you also got their email. Interesting to have an email on an ad card. I never really seen that before. That's new. But I guess I didn't know what to expect when opening these cards. But I guess we'll just start with the handling now, after going through that for a bit. And we'll start with the springs. And the cards feel slightly thicker. They do have some flex to it, because I can definitely still spring them, but you definitely have to like put a little bit more pressure into squeezing them. And the fully inked back design might make the cards slightly thicker, but they're still like, you can still get some nice springs out of it, but it's just a little more stiffer. You just have to put a little bit more pressure into like springing them. Well, it's still pretty nice and smooth springs, if you can actually get them to spring. Now on to the fans. As you can see, they spread pretty evenly. You can see some of the pips and numbers. It's just the way the cards are kind of like the design of the numbers there. But they do spread pretty evenly, as you can see. Now on to the Pharaoh. And they Pharaohed really smoothly there. It interlocked and waved flawlessly, like perfect. Now we're a giant fan of the back design. Now for that reverse Pharaoh. Not terrible, but I did have to slightly like push them together to get them to interlock and wave. They interlock and wave flawlessly once again. Now for a giant fan of the faces. Now time for the riffle shuffle or bridge shuffle. And this is the part of the video where the cards, because it's a one-way back design, they will get mixed up a little bit. So this morning, the back design will be mixed up from this point on. The first two riffle shuffles there were a little bit more like stiffer, and they weren't like super smooth. But the third one I did was pretty nice. But the cards are a little bit stiffer, so you have to break them in a little bit to get like perfect riffles every time. But they feel pretty nice when you actually get one, even though they are a tad on the stiffer side for the riffles there, like to bend them. So they definitely have to be broken in. But they're still not bad. They're not like the most perfect, but you can still shuffle them that way. Now time for the packet cuts. And the pack cuts felt pretty smooth, like the cards felt nice and smooth there. Ever so slightly slippery. You just gotta be careful that they don't slide out of your hands. Now for the one-handed cut or chariot cut. Now for the dribble. Pretty decent dribble there. Pretty fun dribble in either way, front or back. Now for that spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, like I say, for not knowing what the cards are, or what they look like, and on first impressions, they exceed my expectations. I really like that back design, even though it's a one-way back design. That one-way back designs sometimes are not my style, but this one, I really like that style of one-way back design. It's really nice, and that fully custom there, and that kind of wood kind of look to it, which I really like. Then you got the fully custom faces. More of the pips and like the suits aren't like the fanciest or anything, but they do got the custom numbers in the corners there. And then the one custom thing about the deck is the core cards, definitely, because you got those fully custom core cards with all different animals there with different like swords and stuff and like fully custom. They're nice, and they're all different kind of animals, if I can say that. And then you got the fully custom. All the aces are fully custom there. And they're fully illustrated, which is really nice. So overall, I really like the design. It's pretty interesting, I feel. Some of the cards are a little different. And then, yeah, like this is the only kind of slightly creepy card. But other than that, all the other cards are pretty nice looking. And I like the art style of it. And then you just saw the handling. So they handle pretty nice. They are slightly thicker just because I think the fully inked back design there. And I mentioned the edges could chip a little bit just because the ink tends to chip and you on the edges. Not too bad now, but if you use the cards a lot, then it'd be a little bit more worse with the handling. Pretty nice, other than the thickness of the cards, but you get used to it after a while. So with that being said, pretty fantastic design there. I like the design overall. And the handling is nice. Pretty like average handling, nothing too crazy, but not terrible at the same time. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. This has been day 233 of your daily deck review, and this has been the Therian Wood Edition illustrated playing cards. And I'm the Canadian Card Collector, signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.